Hi, everybody. Kate Barshard here again. Today, we're looking at the terms of reference for the Pitt Meadows Day Advisory Committee. We'll look at some of the key aspects and unique components of your specific terms of reference. You would have received a copy of this terms of reference when you began with the committee. You can also find a copy of it on the Pitt Meadows Day Advisory Committee webpage through the city website. So this advisory committee was approved by council back in 2019 to support staff in the planning and execution of the annual Pitt Meadows Day event. Under section 2, you'll see specific pieces of your mandate, encouraging involvement in the planning of the event, encouraging people to attend and participate, the planning of the key aspects of the event, such as the pancake breakfast, parade, and the evening barbecue, and being involved in those committee meetings and sharing in respectful and collaborative conversations so that we can come up with the best event possible for our community. In terms of your legislation and authority, the committee was established by council as an advisory body under the authority of our city committee's policy. You'll have a copy of that as well in your training manual. And your goal is to support the city with the planning and implementation of the annual event. The staff liaison is your key contact with the city, and they're responsible for providing oversight of the committee on behalf of the CAO. The committee will report to the CAO through your staff liaison, and your staff liaison will be that main point of contact between you and the city as well as with council. In terms of your membership, you have up to 13 voting members from the general public in Pitt Meadows. They are appointed by the CAO. Often the staff liaison is also involved in looking at all of the applications. In order to be on the committee, you need to be a resident of Pitt Meadows. We look for a variety of experience in terms of your backgrounds. We're looking for people to have some planning background, people that love to be involved with their community. Perhaps you are a business owner or a vendor. Maybe you have a background of fundraising or sponsorship. So we're looking for a whole variety of those kinds of pieces and experience. You cannot be a current member of council or a staff member at the city to be on the committee. You need to be in good standing with the city. That's a very general statement, but broadly what that means is you can't have outstanding taxes, you cannot be in a civil suit of any sort with the city, and you need to be known to demonstrate respectful and inclusive behavior. And this aligns with our respectful workplace policy. There are also non-voting members on the committee, including your staff liaison, who coordinates and helps to keep you organized and moving forward, but they don't hold a vote. We also have a possibly an alternative staff liaison. We have a committee clerk who will take your minutes and will help you stay organized in terms of agendas and setting up your meeting structures. And then you will also have a council liaison and perhaps an alternative council liaison. These are members of our current council. They do not hold a vote on your committee, but they are involved in order to be a liaison and to share information back and forth between you and council. So they will share during council liaison reports at their regular council meetings, updates of any conversations that happen at your committee meetings. The CAO has total purview over who sits on the committee and can replace appointments as needed. In terms of your term on the committee, they are 2- or 3-year terms, depending on the decision of the CAO. This is to provide a little bit of overlapping of positions so that we don't have everybody's terms expiring at the same time. The city committee's policy, C-102, walks through the process that we go through every year. It's our annual recruitment process led by the committee clerk. If you're curious to know what that looks like, you can read that in the policy. You are welcome to serve more than one term on this committee. You would simply need to reapply at the end of your term for the next term. There is an expectation that you attend all meetings if you are agreeing to be involved on the committee. If you are absent from 3 or more meetings and there is not a substantial reason for that absence, then the CAO may make the decision to remove you from the committee. There is no remuneration. You serve as a volunteer on this committee. And the budget for Pitt Meadows Day is not held by the committee itself, but it's held by staff and by the city. So you were involved in making the decisions around what will unfold on Pitt Meadows Day, but the actual financial decisions are held and made by the city. Under Section 9, you'll find some general language that's in all terms of reference around our legislation that allows us to govern over city committees and expectations around respectful behavior. Conflict of interest is an interesting concept. Basically, it means that if you feel that your involvement in the committee is complicated by a person you know or your financial holdings or interests, you would want to make that known to the staff liaison and to the committee. So an example of that would be if you are making decisions about what band to hire to play on Pitt Meadows Day, and a member of your direct family has applied to be that band, then you'd want to make that known to the committee so that they're aware that there could be a potential conflict of interest, and you would recuse or remove yourself from the decision around what band would play that day based on the fact that you would have a biased, perhaps, opinion on who that should be. If you have any questions about conflict of interest, please by all means ask your staff liaison or give me a call. Your responsibilities as a voting member on the committee are to attend all the meetings. Let us know if you are unable to attend. You want to be familiar with Pitt Meadows Day, maybe talk about or look at past events to see what kind of things that we do. You want to be involved and collaborative in the conversation. You want to be respectful with one another, even if you're not always agreeing, which is a good thing. It means that we have lots of different ideas coming to the table. You want to be promoting the event in your own sphere, so talking to your friends and colleagues and family members to ensure that they are coming and enjoying and participating. You will be expected to attend and most likely volunteer on the day of the event itself. And again, in terms of conflict of interest, to let us know if you have any relationships with any of the vendors or contractors that might constitute a conflict of interest. In the following sections, you'll see some descriptions of what the role of the staff liaison and the committee clerk are. Basically, your staff liaison will chair your meetings, will set the agendas for the meetings, will know what the goal is for Pitt Meadows Day, and will help to ensure that you stay on track and move forward to making your decisions. Your committee clerk is responsible for establishing your agendas, getting them sent out to everybody, sending out meeting invitations. At the time of this recording, we're in the midst of COVID, so our meetings are happening through the Zoom platform. So your committee clerk will make sure that you have all the information you need to be involved in those meetings and to attend, make sure you know how to use the electronic media. Section 11 is very specific to your advisory committee. So this is some of the things that you will be focusing on and the decisions that you will be making as a committee in terms of the various aspects of Pitt Meadows Day. And I'm sure as you work towards the events that you may come up with other things that you would add to this list as well. Section 12 goes over your meeting procedures. Again, this is very standard for most committees. But again, if you have any questions, let us know. If significant decisions need to be made, you need to have a quorum, which means you need a minimum of 50% attendance in order to be able to make decisions. And lastly, the CAO holds sole discretion on amendments to your terms of reference. If you ever feel that there's some information missing or clarity is needed, you can certainly pass that information to the CAO through your staff liaison for consideration. So that's a very quick overview of your terms of reference and pieces that are specific to your committee. Again, if you have any questions, by all means, please reach out to me. You'll find my contact information in your training manual, and you can also get it from your staff liaison or your committee clerk. Thanks again.